I said, there is a God in heaven. So why I don't worry about them monitoring me is I know that everything I do, everything I think, everything I say, the eternal God monitors it. But He's also doing the very same thing to our leaders who are destroying people and the planet at the same time. And for a long time now I have been saying we are coming under judgment. It's real, and unless we repent, we're going to have serious, serious problems. This evening I was outside and a very pleasant neighbor came rushing up. Somebody has thrown something at my window. So I went and had a look. No, no one had thrown anything at the window. Somebody had fired an air rifle at her window. And she was actually behind the window when the shot hit the window. But as she was a short person and the bullet did not penetrate the second sheet of glass because it was a double glazed window, all that happened was she was scared out of her mind. But that's the world we are living in, this quiet little cozy cul-de-sac. It suddenly, chaos breaks loose. Now, here it says that in Clayton, this is in the United States, the St. Louis County Circuit Judge Melvin W. Wiseman locked up a 15-year-old boy for 60 years for sex attack of a girl 6 years old. Well, that's very sad. I wonder what punishment the adults are going to go through. Because we read just now, we're going to reap the fruit of our doings. Now, those of you who look at my website will know that we have said so many times that Christmas, amongst all the other festivals, are totally pagan. Well, I hope you haven't been out buying Christmas toys for your children and inadvertently bought toys that have been laced with liquid ecstasy. That's today's news. Wench Aquadots. It's coated with a chemical similar to liquid ecstasy. See, one of the gods that we have created is the god of money, Mammon. And we will do anything to amass money. And some people have so much money, they have no idea what to do with it. They just lock it up. One of the world's richest, if not the richest man, has just ordered an Airbus, the new Airbus, the 380, which can seat 800 people, for his personal little airborne palace. But we have countless millions of people starving. Countless! While he is going to be faffing around in this luxury aircraft. Another Indian is spending another 500 million to make a palace for him and his servants. But they tell me that there are not enough toilets in India to go around, and they hope that in the next few years they will actually have that. So one of these gods is the god of money. But I say, you can only sit on one chair at a time, only eat from one plate at a time, even if it's solid gold. And even if you have a solid gold toilet, you can only go to one toilet at a time. meanwhile, as we worship our gods, the judgment comes. November 15, 2007, the big thirst. Did you know about that? The Great American Water Crisis. The US drought is now so acute that in some southern communities the water supply is cut off for 21 hours a day. Chattanooga, Tennessee. On a once lush region where the American dream has been reduced to a single four-letter word, rain. Now they're panicking because they're saying that in some areas by January there will be no rain at all. The rivers are dried up, but, you know, at the same time, Atlanta is teeming with Fortune 500 companies, including Coca-Cola, and growing rapidly. Coca-Cola went to India, and in some part they used so much water that the local people had no water for drinking and cooking and things like that. They had to chuck them out. See, back in Atlanta, but the city's 3 million residents also endure some of the worst air quality in the country from poorly regulated smokestack industries. Thanks to profligate water consumption and drought, they may have no drinking water at all by January. As the city's only source of drinking water, Lake Lanier is running critically low. On Tuesday, with Bibles and crucifixes held aloft, hundreds of church ministers, lawmakers, unemployed landscapers and office workers swayed and linked arms in a special prayer service for rain outside Georgia Capitol. A choir sang, "What a mighty God we serve," and "Amazing Grace." The mighty Tennessee and Chattahoochee rivers have been reduced to narrow channels of muddy water. Sandbanks and islands have appeared, and old tree stumps now poke out of lakes and reservoirs as the water level falls. They met together to pray. Then Bowen said, this governor of Georgia said, "We have come together very simply for one reason and one reason only, to very reverently and respectfully pray up a storm." What's that about? The people are in rebellion. Crucifixes? What have crucifixes got to do with God? Praying up a storm? Some person needs to go and tell these people they need to repent. The drought is not just going to stop there. Look at the fires just a few weeks ago, the fires that ravaged California. Last week, England was petrified by high tides coming down the North Sea. Unusual circumstances. They were on a knife edge. It was just by so much that the water barriers weren't breached. Just by that.